Hello dear subscribers and viewers of our channel. Yesterday we saw a video of 2021 with a triangular UFO, reminiscent of the same Belgian case of the late 18th, early 90s. Initially we just wanted to analyze a specific case, but something went wrong, and we decided to give a little more information to our viewers. The issue with triangular UFOs is that although they appeared at the end of the last century, nothing was known about such objects either in myths or in other observation until that moment. Hence the question arises, so what are we really dealing with? A new technology of representatives of a highly developed civilization occupying our territories? A fundamentally different civilization on other devices, maybe? Or is it a terrestrial device at all, a new type of aircraft? The fact that a patent for a triangular spacecraft appeared in 2004 adds fuel to the fire of various versions. Fans of simplifying everything immediately rushed to shake these documents in front of ufologists. But what's the point? There is no official confirmation of the existence of the so-called TR-3B. Triangular UFO sightings were long before this patent. And then the patent is the main ideas. For example, how this technology could be implemented on what principles. This is not the final existing product. It is often a prototype with an idea that can improve the properties, and this must be understood. So, are there any answers to the questions posed? We will try to shed light on this issue. As they say, watch the video to the end. You can subscribe now. UFO EC is with you and we are beginning. But we will start, of course, with the notorious video in which the author drives a car on the road, for some reason without turning on the headlights. Suddenly, a triangular UFO opens its eyes, which has its own light source, goes behind the trees, and even seems to shine on the car itself. Let's start the analysis. What is confusing in the first place in this video? Definitely, the first is the lack of full-fledged input data. Who shot it when and where? It is signed that it is in Germany, in Dinkelsbüttel, on February 7, 2021. But we remind you why it is always important to know the date, time and place. There may be other eyewitnesses, and unidentified objects can always be checked through official channels for the presence of aircraft, satellites and weather balloons. Again, it is possible to check for stationary lights only by knowing the coordinates of the terrain. But we return to the picture itself, presented to our attention. It would seem that here is a road for you. There is even a reflection from the surface corresponding to the colors. But what's wrong? The headlights are turned off for a reason. If they were turned on, then, when modeling the reflection by means of CGI, an unnatural result would be a mixture of the contour light modeled by the program and the natural light shown in the picture. There are restrictions, sorry, but the author has provided for this. It would seem the author got confused and removed the lighting through the trees. I even drew a reflection of the car itself, persuasiveness. However, this is convincing only for those who don't shoot anything in the dark themselves. That is, for a layman and not for a ufologist or even a photographer. If you are shooting at night, you know perfectly well that light sources will be through your camera lens and either give a glare or have a certain shape associated with the number of petals of your diaphragm. In addition, the lighting behind the trees implies the lighting of the trees from the light source. The glow should be both from the inside and penetrating, but it's too complicated for a CGI model, so no one bothered. And in order not to be unfounded, we give an example of a real photo. You can check for yourself. And now the cherry on the cake. Apparently they didn't even bother with the shape here. And if everything is quite transparent with this particular case, then with the Belgian UFO, everything is covered in mystery. More than 2,000 observations. There are photo and video materials. The F-6 fighters were rising, which did not visually detect the object, but on the radars, when analyzing ground and air monitoring, an object was registered that accelerated in a second from 150 to 550 knots, which is about 1090 kilometers per hour, and this is confirmed information. According to our observations, we can know that triangle UFOs are still plowing our airspace. We also recorded them for a long time, but we can cross them at a very high speed and high altitude for the camera. But at the same time, the speed characteristics are still impressive. So triangle UFOs are reality, but who they belong to remains a mystery, and we have yet to unravel it. Perhaps we will make a more detailed analysis of the Belgian UFO wave. We will proceed from the interest in this topic. Although in Belgium the case is confirmed. Well, that's all for today. Put likes, write comments and subscribe. See you in the next video. And sorry for my pronunciation.
Задолбал. Летит на север.
The object is flying towards the north, as I said before. I often hear the statement why eyewitnesses interrupt the recording. I didn't interrupt it on purpose, although I have already studied this object well. So, watch until the end, until it disappears.
Очень быстро из кадра выпадает. Максимальный зум. Все, пропал.